So this is the new machine. It's a Denford CNC Micro Mill. I've actually had the machine for about 3 weeks now, but it got off to a bad start. The day I got it back, I ran a G-code, just a bit of a play. Had to go out to the shops, so I stopped it. And then when I came back and tried to run another G-code, then the machine wouldn't start up again. I was getting communication errors on the Denford software. So I've spent the last few weeks repairing this machine, otherwise I would have had a video up sooner with some projects using this machine. What had happened is the main control board, it has a battery on it which actually isn't used in this machine. The control board is specs higher than what it needed to be, and that battery had burst. Some of the acids had leaked into the communications ports, and so it wasn't working. Now it's got a custom parallel port breakout board in there. It's running some dedicated software. Not sure if I'm allowed to say who that's provided by. Yeah, the software it's using now is a lot more sophisticated than the Denford software. I'd just like to say thank you to a new friend who lives just an hour up the road. He got in touch with me via YouTube and he's helped me to get this machine back up and running, so thank you to Jason. So my first video featuring this milling machine was going to be making some parts for the mini Caterham. This is one of the parts I've already had a go at, and this was going to be my next video, but I wasn't too happy with the finish that I got on that, and I think that was down to the work holding. So what this CNC machine came with was this like cam lock system which sits on the bed. There's a fence you bolt down, and then this clamps material against that fence, and this didn't really work well with the aluminium. It worked well with some of the wood things I've been making. So what I did is I bought a really small machine vise, and it is a really small machine. In fact, Jason, he likes to call it a etch-a-sketch, but I find that mildly offensive. So in this video I want to make some clamps to hold this vise down onto the bed, and hopefully that will help me reduce any movement. Should get a better finish on the next part because I've got another one of these to make. I will still use this part. I'm probably going to bore out the centre for the bearing. This is the rear bearing carrier on the big milling machine, but for getting this shape with the lugs for the rear calipers, the milling machine, the CNC milling machine was great. But first I need to get some clamps made, so I'll be making those parts on the big milling machine. This one, it's aluminium is about its limit, so I wouldn't try steel in it. Plastic wood works great. So yeah, so let's get some clamps made, get that down, and then in the next video we'll be able to get back to making parts for the mini Caterham. Okay, so I've got my bits of EN1A steel cut. I've got a rough idea of the shape I'm going to cut. I'll try and put a sketch up in the video so you can see what I'm going to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut the shoulder. That's all I really need to do in the middle of the machine, and then turn the part 90 degrees and drill a hole through, counterbore it for the screw that will clamp it down. Okay, so I've got the first one cut with that toe in the top. So I'll cut the other one off camera, and then we need to drill a hole in the top there so we can clamp that down to the bed. So I've now got the two clamps machined. I just need to change the chuck over and we'll drill some holes through, counterbore them, and then that should be them done. So there it is. You can see I've got the little toe clamps fitted there, and it's got a good hold of that vise onto the bed. In the ends I found some bolts that were long enough to go straight through, so we didn't need to countersink or counterbore those blocks. So that's that job done. So thanks for watching. Hopefully in the next video we'll get back to making some parts for the mini Caterham, and hopefully we'll be using this machine to do it. So please comment below, like the video if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe.